Hi everyone, welcome to Lexicon Live. This is the first episode of our monthly webinar where we'll be focusing on issues that will help law firms become more profitable, whether it's growing your revenue, increasing your efficiency, improving the quality of your services, all of which leads to growing the net income of your firm. We'll be talking about it in this series. I'm pretty sure that every episode will have something that appeals to every law firm that can help your firm be better. A little bit about myself. I'm Scott Brennan. I'm the CEO of Lexicon. I have a background in technology, travel technology, and now legal technology with Lexicon. And really, I'm really excited about being here and being able to talk to you guys about Lexicon and how we marry products and software in a way no other company in this space is able to do. And I'm joined here by Tom Boster.
Yeah, thank you, Scott. Yeah, as Scott said, my name is Tom Boster. I'm the CFO and COO of Lexicon. And combined with services industry and law firm industry, I have about 20 years of experience.
A little bit about Lexicon. We provide both a practice management software as well as a suite of services that go along with that practice management software to help law firms be more productive. The software, like most practice management softwares, includes matter management, client management, all of the things you would expect, but it also includes a fully embedded document management system, a trust accounting module, calendaring, billing, dashboards, and timekeeping. So things that maybe other softwares may charge for are fully embedded into the Lexicon software. At the same time, we offer a suite of services that work seamlessly with the software, whether that's IT help desk support, client onboarding, virtual receptionist, virtual paralegal, customer service, human resources, marketing, right? Accounting and billing services, legal operations help, and even succession and acquisition planning. When you reach out to us, we'll talk to you about what your needs are, and you'll be able to use the services that are appropriate for your firm. It's not an all or nothing. It is very much a customized approach for every one of our law firm customers to determine what's going to help their firm succeed. And why would you choose Lexicon? As we said, we offer both services and software that are going to seamlessly integrate into your practice. We've been managing and growing firms for well over a decade, and we've grown firms from under a dozen to over 100 offices in that period of time. Our system is designed to be scalable. We can work with both solo practitioners up to law firms with thousands of employees. The system scales, our services scale. It is fully customizable by you as the customer. So rather than having to build custom software for every customer, we allow the system to be customized according to your needs. The same with our services. So it is designed in a way that doesn't require a mass amount of infrastructure in order to meet your needs. And lastly, we know that firms, when they use practice management tools that include timekeeping, we expect them to see up to a 20% increase in realizable revenue as a result of implementing a practice management tool like ours.
So yeah, let's just jump into today's agenda where we talk a lot about where your firm may be losing money. And really we're going to talk about what the state of time tracking is. I know time tracking is not exactly a sexy topic, but overall it's a very, very important one and I think is overlooked by a lot of firms. We want to talk about what it will take to institute time tracking, but at the same time, what can it do for you? What sort of improvements can you realize from time tracking? And also talk about the importance of write-down management, write-off and write-down management, and what that means to your firm, and really address kind of a myth around time tracking, and that is that a lot of firms think that if I'm billing for fixed fee services, I don't need to track my time, and we really want to address that today. But overall, kind of why is time tracking important? Well, you're probably losing money. Overall, since 2007 to present, billable hours on a per attorney basis are down about 132 hours annually. Per lawyer, 132 hours lost. So at the same time, everyone's working just as hard. The amount of time that they're investing into their firms is still the same amount of time. We're just capturing less of that time and being able to bill it to clients. So on average, 81% of billable hours are captured in comparison to the time to work. So I'm working 100% of my time, but only 81% of the time I'm actually capturing billable hours that should be billable to a client. And really what that becomes even greater importance that I only collect about 85%, the average firm, of what I bill. So when I'm losing billable hours and then I'm writing down 15% of what I bill, we really talk about some material amounts of money here. So kind of how do we address this? Well, one is just recognizing that we're very, very busy. All of us are busy in our day-to-day, and attorneys are especially busy in this environment. And when we wait to record our time, it really denigrates the amount of time we actually capture. So for the average attorney that's capturing time once per day, they're still losing about 10% of their billable time. If you wait 24 hours to bill your time, you're losing up to 25%. And for those of you, which are more than of us that we'd like to admit, we wait 1 week before we track our time, and we lose even greater amounts. So how do we address this? Well, 74% of firms say that automating manual tasks, like time entry, through technology has a huge amount of upside. So this is a really large portion of how we can approach this problem.
Yeah, and 4 out of 5 challenges facing law firms today are related to timekeeping. One is it's taking too much time for lawyers and staff to enter their time, right? And they view timekeeping as an administrative task because it is non-billable time. However, there are ways to make that more efficient, more productive for the firm through technology. Cost control and expense growth. Again, if you are not tracking your time appropriately, you don't know where you're spending money as a firm, right? Your billable resources are finite, and if you are spending too much time on some matters and you're not tracking time, you don't even know it. Lack of internal efficiencies, right? So again, can technology speed up these tasks and make it more effective and more efficient for people to enter time, send documents back and forth to clients? All of the administrative tasks that people are working on can be accelerated through the use of a good technology partner. And then lastly, there is rate pressure from clients to maintain your costs, especially for the law firms that are in a corporate environment working with in-house counsel. Fixed fees are becoming more and more prevalent as a pricing methodology as in-house counsel is looking to be able to hit budgeted numbers every year. That's putting pressure on firms that support them. So understanding what your costs actually are on each of those matters for each of those clients is really critical when it comes to making your own decisions. And then finally, not 100% related to timekeeping, but I would argue somewhat related because acquiring new customers does have rate sensitivity. And if you've priced yourself out of the market, you will find yourself with less and less revenue. And maybe even worse, if you've priced yourself under the market because you're losing money and you don't even know that, you are taking on more and more business that is negative margin and you are slowly destroying your firm. And all of this then flows through back into a law firm in the form of decreased revenues. Unable to actually get an accurate assessment of your firm's health, making poor business decisions. And again, in a fixed fee environment, that may mean I'm continuing to put more time into that matter than is profitable. And if that's a one-off individual matter or case, that's probably understandable, right? And that you take that risk when you take on a fixed fee matter. If that becomes something that is normal for that type of a matter, you are now damaging your firm's health by doing negative margin business again and again and again, and you don't even know it. And then lastly, billing corrections and overbilling and unclear billing statements are a major driver of unhappy clients, which could result in bar complaints, and they definitely can result in having to reissue bills, write down charges, and adjust bills. Even when you do that, you've still now made a client who doesn't have a lot of faith in your billing processes, and they're still angry, even if you've made good by reversing those charges. So, as Tom said, our memories are not perfect as humans, right? And when we try to track time after the fact, using our memories and our best guess, we could be up to 20% inaccurate, and that could be overbilling some clients, and underbilling others. And it probably is resulting in your firm not collecting as much money as it probably should.
So I think we've clearly identified and spoke a lot about what the problem is. And so now we want to talk about really what can you do about it, and really what those improvements mean. So we know that the improvements mean that we're going to have clearer billing to our clients, and we'll have fewer client disputes, and we're also holding ourselves to that high ethical standards, and we'll have fewer complaints from those clients, and heaven forbid those client complaints turn into bar complaints. We also will have a faster cash collection cycle. What that means is that frees up cash for you to operate your firm. And if you're one of those firms who have seasonality to where sometimes you have to draw on debt in order to fund the operations of your firm, which are many during the first quarter of a fiscal year especially, increasing the speed of that cash flow can help you reduce your reliance on debt and reduce your interest expense. And then you also are giving yourself some operational efficiencies and increased revenue. So all of this leads to better business decisions in the end. So to quantify this, if your rate is $300 an hour, and for every day you're only under recording 10 minutes that could have been captured as billable time, that's $12,000 over a given year. $12,000 per attorney. So if you have multiple attorneys in your office, if you have associates, you can just multiply that number. So $12,000 is meaningful, of course, but if you have 5 people in your firm, it's even bigger numbers and more meaningful. So how can we help you solve this problem? Really, it's through having a good practice management software, a great practice management software that gives you some of the tools to ease that administrative burden of tracking time, but also increases the accuracy of tracking time. So with that, we're going to go ahead and have a look at the Lexicon software to demonstrate how that can help solve your problem.
Hi everyone, Tom Grulich with Lexicon here. As Scott and Tom discussed, sometimes we get in the habit of not tracking time until the end of the day. Furthermore, sometimes not until the end of the week. Some of you may even have an admin who enters in the time for you. I want to demonstrate how that can affect your firm's health and how common issues can easily be managed through Lexicon. First, we begin by creating a regular email notification reminding all associate attorneys to log their time before the deadline approaches. After receiving that notification, the attorney would then go into Lexicon's practice management software and enter their time. With the log time feature, you can quickly and easily specify the client, matter, work performed, and of course, for how long, along with any internal or external notes relevant to the time. For those of you that track time at the end of the week, there's a Submit and Create Another button to chain time entries continuously one after the other. Another great way to track your time using the Lexicon software is through the live timer located in the bottom right corner. This timer allows you to identify the client, the matter, as well as pause the timer as any disruptions occur to give you the most accurate billing possible. Time tracking is still relevant even when working in a fixed fee environment. Utilizing the timers will help you begin to gain clarity as to how efficient and ultimately how profitable your firm is running by showing the cumulative time per matter. Lexicon provides your firm with the tools needed to track time as accurately and efficiently as possible. You'll no longer worry about time slipping through the cracks or take the chance of over or under billing a client. With our live time tracking and billing deadline notifications, your bills will be accurate, which means more satisfied clients. Back to you, Scott and Tom.
So what do these time tracking improvements mean to you? So when I enter time when it happens, I'm increasing my accuracy and therefore increasing the amount of billable time that I have. I also am getting more accurate notes into the client. I'm understanding more about my file. To avoid entering the time, that includes several different tasks. So what we're talking about here is that often when we're just relying on our memories, we tend to take multiple things that we did for a client and group them down to a single line entry. And when we do that, that decreases the clarity to the client, and also, as we've discussed in great length, it also normally reduces the amount of time capture, or heaven forbid, it can actually result in me overbilling an individual matter. We also want to be sure that it's not just our time we're worried about as an attorney, but we also have admin staff that may be billing. We may have associates that are billing on our client files, and we want to make sure by all means that their time capture is accurate as well. And so we want to be reviewing those billing entries in order to be sure they're accurate, they're timely, and that they're clear. And as always, you need to always review your bills before they're issued to your client. This is very, very important. You want to be able to look at your bills through the prism of the client's mind and make sure that it makes sense. And so that you want to ask yourself, did the client receive value for this invoice? And we all know that they did. We just want to make sure that we're really clearly giving that message to the client. So as we segue over, we talked earlier, we teased that out a little bit, is that, write-offs and write-downs. And specifically, we want to talk about write-offs and write-downs as it relates to fixed fee matters. And so in order to have write-offs and write-downs for fixed fee matters, it means that we would have to track our time against those fixed fee matters. So as we discussed, many firms don't track their time towards fixed fee matters. And we really want to talk about why that is important. So Scott, do you have some ideas as why that would be important?
Yeah, absolutely. And as Tom said, I think a lot of firms believe because it's fixed fee and because maybe a lower cost associate is working on it, it's not as important for them to accurately capture their time. And that's completely false. So if you think about a matter where you've agreed to a $1,000 fixed fee price, as those associates are working towards that goal, if they overshoot and they work more than $1,000 worth of value, you want to continue to capture that. If it happens once, it's not a big deal. It's risk transfer to you as part of doing a fixed fee arrangement with the client. If it's happening regularly, you want to have clear understanding that you invested maybe $1,500 into these matters you're only charging $1,000 for. That gives you a few options as a firm to make better decisions. One option is, I need to raise my rates. And if the market will support that, we'd certainly recommend that you go ahead and say this is now a $1,500 or a $2,000 fixed fee matter. It may also indicate that type of law, for whatever reason, your firm is acting inefficiently in. And they're putting in more time than other firms might in order to do that. So that would say you need to look at the efficiency of your operations. You have to look at, are there any shortcuts, legal tricks that you could use to do that matter more quickly, as effectively for your client, and maintain tighter cost control. If you're not having your associates accurately track all of their time against that matter, you will not know the answer to that question.
Yeah, and it's very important, as we know that corporate clients, some small businesses, once they've gotten onto the fixed fee train, very often they don't get off of it. And it may be shocking to some of you out there, but some corporate counsels are known to, once you've agreed to a fixed fee, to come back the very next year. They have that internal budget pressure for their business as well, just like you do on your business, and they actually come back to the well, so to speak. They actually come back and ask you quite often to either not increase the fixed fee or to actually, heaven forbid, decrease that fixed fee. This happens. These are real life scenarios. And so what do you have when you track time? You have that ability to very consciously say, look, I have a significant investment in your files. This is the amount of time that I've actually spent on it, and this is why we need to be priced at this level. Very important. So now that we've talked about that a little bit, let's have another look at the Lexicon software to see how it can help you manage these write-off and write-downs. Let's turn it over to Tom G and have him show how that works with the Lexicon software.
If an attorney didn't track their time live or write it down to enter later, they may overcharge due to inaccuracy, which would in turn affect client satisfaction. With Lexicon's built-in billing approval workflows, an associate attorney can submit their time for review by a senior attorney or partner. If an overbilling has occurred, a senior attorney can write down the time to meet client expectations. We can see here that we've recorded 12 hours of billable time. Upon further inspection, a senior attorney would see that there was 1.5 hours of document review time, which in their experience should have only taken 1 hour. They can then write down the bill as needed, ensuring the client won't be surprised when they receive the bill. Write-downs can be one of your largest expenses, which can add up to a long-term loss in revenue and the need to bring in more business to cover those losses. By regularly collecting and analyzing data through Lexicon's software reporting options, you can begin to identify where revenue leaks commonly occur and begin to rectify them. Furthermore, Lexicon software integrates seamlessly with Lexicon's offered billing services. We'll streamline all aspects of your firm's billing from start to finish to make it easier for you to get paid. Our billing experts will help you to reduce errors and costs, collect more, and get paid faster. Our technology and robust reporting will ensure that you always have a clear picture of how your practice is performing at any moment. Staying on top of tracking time and ensuring it's as accurate as possible gets you a better read on revenue per client and revenue per matter, which you can use to justify bringing on additional staff or rate increases. Sometimes it can just help you uncover inefficiencies in your day-to-day operations, allowing you to optimize your firm better. Without having accurate numbers, you're assuming your profit margins, which can put your firm in a difficult position when making business decisions based on inaccurate numbers. It also enables the prevention of client disputes and ultimately bar complaints. Bottom line, it increases billings and satisfied clients. A win-win for your firm. Back to you, Scott and Tom.
Thanks, Tom. A few other things of note. We are running a virtual CLE. It will include 4 credit hours. It's only $99. You can register for that on lexiconservices.com/CLE. And we encourage you to see if it's available in your state. Right now, we're registered in about 25 states. Take advantage of that CLE. It will include tips and tricks around operating your law firm. It'll also be an ethics portion. We'll cover a variety of topics. Encourage you, if you're looking for CLE credits, to check that out. As a reminder, we have a weekly podcast named The Lex Factor. We focus on tips and tricks to grow and operate your law firm more efficiently. We also focus on topical issues impacting law firms. And so every week we'll have a mix of deep focus on ways to grow or operate your firm, or something in the news that's impacting the business of law that you probably need to know about and get our opinion. Might not be your opinion, but we'll have a perspective on what those things are and how we think that they could impact other law firms around the country. And lastly, I'd encourage you, if you like the demo of the software we've shown you, go out and schedule a personalized demo. It can be as short or as long as you would like. We'll send you a quick questionnaire, ask you what are the things that are challenging your law firm, what would you like to make sure that you see us address in the demo, and we'll be happy to sit down with you and give you a customized, personalized demo of Lexicon software. With that, I'd like to thank you again for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Have a great day.